think I boo-booed. I don't think I can play that one today. Dear. Oh, actually, yes, I can. I have to have cards that can tell me which things I'm allowed to play on which days. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Freedom, no more. No more. So what is coming up on today? Well, as you can see, I've changed the title. If you had logged into this earlier, the title may have been different. I'm going to use today, we're going to do some other updates that we normally do, like my craft update and what I'm reading, because I know a lot of people tune in specifically for that on a Wednesday. But I'm going to give you lots of situation updates of all sorts. I'm going to talk as much as I can about my court versus YouTube versus copyright situation as much as I can. I'm going to continue talking about different scams on YouTube and social media. I'm going to be answering a lot of questions I've been asked, and most have been asked in very good grace. And luckily, if I know people, then obviously I know they're not meant with with malice. So I'm going to answer some questions. As I say, if you've got questions about my situation or my health or anything, then I'm always willing to answer, as long as they're asked genuinely. And I'm also going to talk a bit about the restock trend. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to talk a little bit about that, something that is all over social media. So if you don't know what that is, well, I only do YouTube. I do look at Reddit as well, but I don't have any other social media. So if I know it, you should know it. But first, let's have a look at the comments and see who we have here today. We have our great friends Steve and Tina Jewell. So here's a hello for you. So where to begin? Shall we begin with some good news? Yes, let's begin with some good news. There's very little of that. And I'm not going to go into my health today, because we could do a whole live just talking about what's going on there. Pretty scary things going on there. But we'll save that for another day. I'll be here for several hours. So good news for today is I've dropped 2 backs of earrings on the floor in this room. This is the room I put my earrings on, because I have a mirror that I can actually just about see in this room, on top of the bookshelf that I have here that has all my Greek language books. So when I'm putting them in, leaning over the bookcase, looking in the mirror, sometimes, I have hand issues, and sometimes the backs go flying away. So I hadn't actually swept this floor for a long time, because that's to remind me, look for the earrings. One is a tiny one, and one's like the thicker one. When you have your ears pierced, you get like the thicker earrings and a thicker back piece. And I found the thick one, haven't found the tiny one. Not so bothered about that, because the thick one, where you first get your ears pierced with the thicker earrings, you can't find any other backings that actually fit those. So if you lose those, you're a bit stuck. So, and if you're wondering, I've got 2 holes at the bottom here, 2 holes at the bottom here, 1 here, and 1 at the top here. All not like on this bit, on like through the ear, like all the others, just in case you're interested. So I can't be doing with losing backs. This one I like the best, and this one I have to keep putting in quite regularly. The others don't close up, but this one can be a bit dodgy if I haven't worn earrings for a week. I need to push it through, really push it through. Yes, says Steve and Tina. Yes. Okay, now I've got lots of oddments, lots of oddments to go through. So let's try and create some order here. I've got things written on bits of paper, so I didn't jump around too much. But let's start today with some normality. And let's begin with this. So you're guessing what I am doing in cross stitch. As I say, I don't say if anyone's right or wrong. We'll wait till it's more obvious and then I'll remember if anyone guessed right. And guess as many times as you like. If you're watching this back later, you can always put a comment under this live, or indeed anywhere. You can put it anywhere. I read all my messages, so if you put the cross stitch guess, you can put it under my latest video or anywhere. So I've done quite a bit more. I've done filled in more of like the ready area, but the bit in between, that was pretty blank last time. I did some more at the very top here. That yellowy black bit, that is that actual bit there is done. And I don't think that really helps you at all. And as I say, this sort of bluey purpley bit, I've done the middle section there. I did more on this side, the very edge. I've gone down more with that. Haven't done any further down bits. So if you want to guess what that is, you're very entitled to. I'll do a closer shot because it's just getting too hard to show you all of it in one go. I think it was Blue from Blue Self-Reliance last time said, I don't know what it is, but it's very pretty. And I did say last time that particularly I've just been doing this sort of yellowy blue bit at this side. When I'm doing it and counting and checking and double checking, I can't see the pattern. And then when I step away, I'm like, oh, look, there's a pattern. So I like the sort of reveal of that. I do like that. So that's an update of my cross stitch. Just check the comments. Stephen Tina Jewel saying Indian Princess. Indian Princess. Okay, and let's do the other update that I know a lot of you do tune in for is this. So if you've been watching the last few Wednesday lives, you'll know I'm reading this, Ruth Rendell, Ending Tears. It's not a new book. As I always say, you can either look on Kindle and see if you can get it there, or you can go in a library and always ask them to order for you. They can order any back book. I've read the front bit. Look, I'm reading. So that tells you a lot if I'm getting through it fast, considering I don't have much free time. I'm a fast reader. I speed read. So that tells you I've actually read quite a lot of it, which means it must be enjoyable, or else I'd be quite slow going through it. So I've already guessed how it's finishing. I've still got quite a bit to go. I'm pretty certain how it's finishing already, which will be very sad. I don't like that. I like to have an unexpected ending, but it's still a good read. I'm enjoying the characters. I'm not getting too lost on the characters. A couple of times I'm like, who was that one? Who was that one? But it's not like that's only because of me. I think you'll find it easy to follow as long as you pay attention to who's who. So far, I will say a fair 8. I really should downmark it if when I get to the end, if what I think's happening and how it ends, if that's how it ends, it's going to get well downmarked, which I do. So an 8, thinking that if I'm wrong, but if I'm right, it'll probably be a good 6.5, 7. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll be close to finishing it by next week. So we'll see how that goes then. So I always review them before I start reading them, just by reading the back. Then when I've sort of just started, then the middle, and then the end. We have Nunya Texas on the back 20 in. Hello, thank you for dropping in, much appreciated. And here's a special hello just for you. Bit of overrunning theme today is going to be YouTube in various degrees. So let's start trying to keep it in some sort of sense of order. Let's start today with this. Now, a long time ago, this is just a sort of fun thing, a long time ago, and recently I've done a short on it as well, is when you say your name on YouTube, their captions don't always hear properly. They're not very good, their generated captions. And it used to annoy me a lot when at the beginning of some of my videos, my intro, I say, "Hi, I'm Dawn." And it always puts, "Hi, I'm Don," D-O-N. I'm not a man. I'm not a man. And that really annoys me. There's something I've never liked about people saying my name wrong. wrong. But I saw the short today, and one of the shorts says Dawn, but with a small d, so it's not acknowledging I'm a name now. They've changed it for me, and it says D-A-W-N, Dawn, but it's when the short is talking about that it says my name is D-O-N, but my name is D-A-W-N, and the captions come up. The captions say, "My name is D-A-W-N," not what YouTube captions put, D-A-W-N. So now it can't identify the difference between my real name and D-O-N. So on the captions, if you're only reading the captions on the short, it says, "My name's Dawn," but YouTube says my name is Dawn. Well, at least I don't change. There is that. I wonder what happens if someone's name is D-O-N. Are they now called D-A-W-N? Maybe. Steve says, "Nearly every time I open your channel on iPhone, I have to hit the subscribe button again." Don't talk to me about YouTube. Don't talk to me about YouTube. Okay, let's see what I'm going to start with. Yes, computer problems. I get all this about re-signing and sign in again and check and security check and all this. But factually, every time you re-sign in, you've got more chance of being hacked because it only takes a hacker to be on at that point. So the more times you're re-signing in, changing a password, updating your password, confirming your password, the more you do that, the more chance you've got of actually being hacked. And every time Mike cleans my computer of 9 million things, I have to re-sign into everything. And when I re-sign into everything, one of my accounts, it never accepts the password. And it also says my Gmail or email, my email is yahoo.com. I've never had yahoo.com, but Mike set up that when I first came out here. He set me up on his laptop, an old laptop that I could have here because he didn't come over for a month. And it's only just yesterday it started re-signing everything back in. And it's only just said, "We can't actually contact you on there." Now, ridiculous. We haven't ever used that. Mike went, "Did I have a Yahoo account?" That was back in England. How long have we been here? Can you be hacked if you use a thumbprint? If you use a thumbprint, they can put that on file. So I would never use thumbprints for any identification. I would never, ever, ever use my personal DNA in any shape or form. I would not touch it with a barge pole. I know some countries, when you go travelling, they want to use your eye, retina and all that. No. no, thank you. No, thank you. I would not do any of that. I would, no, no, no. So I reset up all my Gmails. I had no YouTube accounts. StreamYard goes down if you don't have your account, because obviously I go via my YouTube. And even when I came on today, I thought I'd reset it up, but I had to do a bit more on that. So I had to reset it all up. Then when I turned it all off, came back on today, I had to do it all over again. And one of the passwords, it wouldn't accept. It's never accepted one of my passwords. And it accepted it when I set up the account, because normally if you don't put enough letters, numbers or symbols or whatever, it just says it's not valid. But this was in the days before you even had to do all these stupid things. You could just put a password. But I've always used it. It never recognises it. Then it says, have you forgot your password? Click here or redo your password. I redo the password. It accepts it. But today it decided it couldn't now accept that password at all, because it didn't have all these characters and symbols and all the rest of it. So that's crazy. So I've literally had most of today and yesterday just sitting, trying to get all my accounts back, everything up and running. I hate Chrome. I only use Chrome because that's the only platform now I can watch YouTube on. I like Edge. I know a lot of people dislike Edge, but I use Edge for most of my computer stuff, because when you're on Chrome, because I've got more than one account, I can't just look on the one account at all the Gmails. I have to come out of that, go in another one, put my security pass. So I don't like Chrome. Chrome is the plague, basically. Steve saying USA have thumbprint at immigration. I wouldn't travel personally. My own personal preference, I wouldn't travel. I wouldn't travel. What else? Oh, another thing. I've just had so many issues with computers and everything. Another thing is, when I make my films and footage, I have little files. So all those pictures of that, I put in a file, and then we might be doing a project, but we haven't got to the end of it. So I'll put all the pictures and films so far in a file. Now my computer doesn't allow me to delete any of my picture or film files. It keeps coming up with this message. You need to supply us with your license, if you want to delete any of your files. Oh dear, Firefox. I did use that for a while. They're all glitchy in different ways. Steve saying he used Firefox. I did use that for a while. It doesn't like this laptop. His daughter's computer, an Opera. Yeah, I've tried that one as well. They're all good for certain things, but as I say, some are glitchy for other things. So that's why I say I know a lot of people don't like Edge, but for me, apart from watching YouTube, Edge works for me. It works. It doesn't keep popping up things, and because that's quite disruptive for me. Anything that pops up things is extremely challenging for me now. What else? Yeah, so if anyone knows how Mike can completely clean all the stuff off my laptop, you know, when you run a cleaner, and he's got a good one. I can't tell you what it is right now, but it's the best one he does that really does clean everything. If any of you can tell me what he needs to look for to stop me having to go and reset up everything every time. He said there must be something, there must be something you don't tick, but he can't see it. He said you have to sit and go through it all. So yeah, if any of you know what he needs to, it's not obvious, let's say. And the other thing that is really getting my goat right now, because I'm deteriorating quite rapidly in certain ways, which I'll talk about in another one because it's going to be a long live anyway. It annoys me. Nothing is disabled friendly. Nothing. If you want to do anything on the computer, yes, there's apps for the deaf, there's apps for the blind. There's not anything for people with brain damage that can function but can't keep looking up all these passwords, what goes where, what does this mean, remembering how to do it. No, nothing. Let me have a little drink and then we go on to this. So first of all, I want to draw you to my other channel, which is Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. If you're interested in growing and produce and types of fruits and trees and that kind of thing, I have just posted a video on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty, all about canistel. Now, if you don't know what canistel is, it's got other names as well, which I've talked about in the video. Some of you might know it as yellow sapote, or I was going to say eggplant then, egg fruit. It looks a little bit like a mango, but you can get different shaped ones. So you can have quite a pointy one. So do go and look on there. It took me ages to make that video. Took me absolutely ages. You'll see why when you go on to it. But do go and have a look there, all about that fruit. If you're interested in different types of fruit, then that's there for you to have a look at. What else? Let's talk about some videos I've been watching. And I'm watching videos from different people I've talked about these before, YouTube scammers, people who do YouTube purely as a business. I'm not saying just to make money. I'm saying they do whatever to make money. And this lady is saying to watch out if you're asked in a video to type a word in the chat. Now, let's say it might just be shop, or if you want the list, the link, type in link if you want the links, those kind of things. So if they're asking you to type a specific word in any shape or form into the chat, do be very aware this can have different consequences. First of all, of course, people are trying to get you to comment. So they want lots of people commenting. Also, when they often say to type a specific word into the comment section, we're talking about the ones that run YouTube for a business, which you might be aware who they are or you may not. Don't be duped by people you think are just YouTubers. No, many are not. But when you type a specific word in, they are selling often your information third party, and that link sends your channel information and all the rest of it third party, and they can do what they like with it because you have chosen to type this word in, whatever the word might be. And if they're a lower rate YouTuber earning money as a business, they will send the links on. But many of them, the great big ones, will actually have business people dealing with those links themselves. So do be very aware if people are asking you to type any word. It doesn't have to be a specific word, but if they say, oh, in the comments, type, and they just mention a word. I said I'd talk about the new trend of restock. If you know what that is, let me know in the comments. If you're on other social medias, you're probably more likely heard of it. And restock videos, there's different forms of it, and I can't go into all of them. but they are completely and only sales prompts videos. You might think they're aesthetically pleasing videos, or just like cleaning videos, or decluttering videos, anything, or doing like showing your makeup, anything like that. But they are 100% videos for sales. Now, quite often, the YouTuber or social media person will actually be in a studio that has been set for the promotions. Let's say it's someone cleaning out their fridge. Every single product that you see is a sales linked product or promotion. You can more often find for sure if they have more than one of an item, or they have several of one brand. So if they have lots of all the different flavors of chips, let's say, if they have them all there, if they have them all set out very aesthetically, it's normally a promotional thing as well. Some of them are not even the YouTuber or the social media person. They are often pre-made films by the companies with actors' hands, not the actual YouTubers' hands. So be aware of that. And most of the products that they have in their house, if it does happen to be their own home, are not owned by them. They are bought in for the film and then taken back and passed on to the next influencer. I have another word for influencers, product farmers or whatever. So another way you can tell is if they open a cupboard, let's say, and they've got just loads of one type of thing. So let's say they've got a whole cupboard full of biscuits, for example. Are you really having one whole cupboard of your kitchen for biscuits? Or if they're cleaning out the fridge, where's their half-used items? There isn't a space. A lot of these sort of videos are also when they show you storage solutions. So be aware of that. If you see a lot of these storage solution videos, they are normally promotional ones. And the trend now is also not to say, if you're interested in this item, the links are below. It's to say, type the word shop or list or shopping, whatever word, like I've talked about before, in the comments below, and I will send you the direct link to all the items. There we go. I could go on and on about this, but you've got the gist, hopefully, of it. But there's so much more to tell you about this situation. But I'm just kind of letting you know, don't be fooled by these people. Steve saying might have a cupboard of chocolate. Sounds possible. There was one where she was showing you that they buy all their products from the supermarket, grocery store, and she brings them home and puts them in all these neatly labeled containers and then puts them. So she's getting her ketchup and she's putting that in a little jar and then put all neat. It's all tidy. It's to make you feel, oh, I need that. I need that. I need that. And the woman doing the main video to show you like the scams and what's going on, she said, and what did she do with the rest of that ketchup bottle then? Where did that go? And then she was unpacking meats and cheeses and putting them in these lovely containers and putting them in the fridge. And she's like, well, how do you know what the date is now with that cheese? How do you know the best before date? And then she had the top row was all matching storage, all labelled, like bought labelled, not she's labelled it. And it's got fruit. It's got apples, oranges, whatever, apple, oranges, grapes, all set out. And all these storage things fit 100% completely fit in this fridge. And she's like, right, okay, so they all fit. There's no room for anything else. And well, then where do you put your bananas or whatever you buy next week? Do you only buy those same fruit? Oh, then she was getting, I don't know what they are. Let's say they were like cold milks, like individual milks or whatever, flavoured milks. And she's getting them, opening them out and pouring them into another container, shutting that, and then the next individual flavour one, putting it there. And it was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous because the lady doing the whole video to like show you the scam, she said, right, okay, it might look good, but she's taking things out of a container, like say out the ketchup bottle, into a little jar. And then when that's used up, what are you going to do then? Scrape all that out, what's left in there. That's why they invented squeezy bottles. And then you've got to wash all that up again. She sounds like a nut job. That's just one of many. It sends you down a rabbit hole, but I do like watching scam things, as in keeps you on your toes. Let's talk about a better funny video that I just watched. And the title actually grabbed me, and I'm not someone who clicks on clickbait, let me say. But this was pet-friendly hotels. What animals do they really take? And it was done as a fun video. And he went and he took, first of all, he goes into the hotel and he says, you are pet-friendly? And they say yes. And he takes a chicken in. He takes a chicken in just to see what they say. The chicken, I think the chicken was rejected. No. Then he goes to another hotel and he checks first, you are pet friendly, aren't you? And they say yes. And then he goes out, brings the next pet in. He brought a pig, a big pig in, and he called him, his name was Chris P. Bacon, crispy bacon. They didn't allow the pig. A couple of hotels he went to, because he took a different animal to different hotels, a couple of them said, no, but you're welcome to go in our gardens and buy a cup of coffee with your animal. And then every time he said, yeah, the coffee was something ridiculous, like £4 or something stupid. And he said, yeah, of course they want me to have a coffee. So he took a goat in one. He took a Shetland pony, if you don't know, like a miniature pony, into one of them. And the worker was saying, what sort of horse is this? And he said, if you go to Ireland, these are the type of race horses they use. And he went, really? And the man said, yes. And the hotel worker said, oh, hold on a minute. And he called another worker over. He goes, oh, he's Irish. He said, these are your race horses. He goes, are they? I don't think so. He took a donkey in one. The donkey was permitted. What other animal did he take? I think he took another one. But anyway, so that was a fun video. Okay, let's go on to this. Okay, dealing with court issues against the giants, let's call them. We all know who Dawn's talking about, the giants. And this has been an ongoing situation for a long time, so I'll just briefly go over it because if you're a regular viewer, you will know. And it's basically, I've been using free to use music. I have the screenshot of where the owner has put it in a section of only free to use music. I have a screenshot of that. You get flags from YouTube to say you can't use this music. I've spoken to them many times and said you can use it, and they said fine. But if the owner comes to us at any point and says, someone's used my music, they can't use it, YouTube is legally obliged to send you that message to say it's been flagged up as you can't use the piece of music. So I get told by YouTube that if I make any false claims that something is free to use and it isn't, I get penalised and have to pay a fine. If it's multiple times, you can lose your channel forever, and so on and so forth. But the owner of music who is wrong, and I have the proof and I keep showing the proof, I can't do the screenshot, but I can write proof. The owner of the music can make continual accusations saying I can't use music when I can, and I also have a platform saying I can use music and keep using it because I can use it, and if they don't want me to use it, they need to remove it off this platform and they need to get rid of this bit that says I can use it. And I have all this information, and YouTube says they don't have any penalty for keep saying I can't use it, no matter how many times I type in I can, blah, 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 blah. They have no penalty for repeatedly hitting the same person for the same piece of music every time I've used it. So it has to be a different video. And if you don't know, it was the old intro to my Monday and Wednesday lives. You have the same intro. It's not the count. Yes, it's the countdown. It's the very first bit you see on my lives where it's got the blue background saying coming up live or something like that. It's that. The music now is different. And the reason I used this music was all the music I used in my lives was all from the same platform, not this one that's an issue. And it meant I could just put the one platform code URL up and I could use any music on the free platform, not put in every single bit of music. But they can come at me for every single video I've ever used it on, and I have to keep doing the copyright claim. I can do that. I have no issue. They're going to run out of videos eventually because I've only used it on lives. I can deal with that. It takes time. I can do it. When they're all done, they're done. Easy, easy. But now, well, for some time now, if you do your copyright claim, which some of you may well have done, and you just say, yeah, I have got a right, and you have to show it, they keep coming back now and saying, no, sorry, that hasn't worked. That copyright claim we disagree with, which they've passed so many times. And you then have to do an appeal, which isn't your normal saying against the copyright. You have to do an appeal and fill in forms and forms and forms. I have to make half of it up because you have to put your full address. I don't even have an address. I just make things up, which tells me they don't look into it properly anyway. You have to do forms and forms and forms. And and it says you can't repeat any information that you've already given because your copyright counterclaim has failed. So you can't use any of that information. So I've informed them on that of my social media lawyer. And I will now be also doing, obviously, all the back time and everything else as well. But they have no penalty for the appeals if they're lying, which they are. But it says they are taking court action if these appeals come back that I'm still in the wrong. So I don't see how I could suddenly now be in the right if they say the copyright claim wasn't official, but they have already passed that many times before, which I do claim. I say, well, you've already passed it in the basic copyright claim and you've said I can use it. But that comment then comes back, you can't reuse this information, and no, sorry, that's failed. So mine is, yep, see you in court whenever, and say to them, I CC every single thing to my social media lawyer. And I can't say any more than that. As you know, you can't talk about pending court cases. But as Mike said, go to court. I don't know where you go because it must be American. I don't know how that works. But tell me, Americans, can you change your mind left, right and centre? And I know what will happen. They'll do what they did with the original copyright claims, say I couldn't use music, and then when I give the info, initially they're like, oh yeah, you can use it now. So everything's saved. So I just don't need that at the moment. But you know me, there was another court thing I had some time ago, and I fought for over 5 years with the courts, and I won and I got the payout. And I'm not a giver up. Even if you're going to give me 10 cents if I win, it's the principle. I'm right. I know I'm right. And Mike said, yes, go to court. But I tell you, once I go, that will flag up again. So I'm going to do them for harassment as well, harassing a poor, disabled, mentally retarded person whose only pleasure is to sit and do things on YouTube. So there we go. Just thought I'd update you on that. If you want any more info, and people have said, oh, use this music, use that music. I've been flagged up for the YouTube free to use music. And as I say, it's a principle. And I've also got the backing of this platform where this music comes from. They actually give me a statement to send them. So, yeah. You're like a bulldog once you get your teeth into something. I have to. I think a lot of it is because of my condition that I could give up. A lot of people would have given up way before me. And if I don't fight or die is basically what they say. So I have to do it. And it annoys me when, if someone said you can't use my music, I've got it wrong, fine. But it's there. And it's a principle. And I've fought with big guns before and I won. And a lot of people think, oh, you can't fight with these big companies and they always win. Don't give up. A lot of the time they think you'll give up in the end. And that's why I think this is keeps doing it. Mike would have given up by now. He's like, oh, just like, okay, go and change all the music. No, he said I can use it. They need to be outed, and I will out the actual company. But as I say, to me, all these things they come out with and keep doing it, they've sent me about 10 more appeal forms. So for each time I've used it, I now have to do an appeal forms. It's multiple appeal forms. And to me, that's fodder. The more they do it, the more I can say it's harassment. And yeah, so the more the better. Not really, but it gives me more kudos to show it's not an error on their behalf. And they've been told multiple times. So they're just trying. What it is, they're trying to get the money. I think it's since I hit 4K, it started. And they must think, oh, we get the money. You get a lot of music channels that say you can use the music. When you're monetized, they always flag up. Don't assume if they say you can't use the music. Check that you can, because what they want is some of your income. So they say, oh, it's okay, you can use our music, but we'll take some of the monetary income. Don't do it. I would rather block their music than let them take some of the music. But they know a lot of people go, oh yeah, all right, I can't be bothered to change it or whatever else. Yeah, so don't be fooled into thinking when people say you can't use their music, you can. And I always, when I download a bit of music, I always copy and paste the bit where it says under that bit of music if it's a music video YouTuber or something, I always copy and paste first of all the bit where it says you are free to use this music for YouTube or blah blah blah. So that's that. Let me have a little sip of water. Here. So much to catch you up on. Okay. Answering one of many questions about my situation with my water crisis, and extremely briefly, we had no water at all on our land or our house, but you have to go back on my videos to catch up with that because there's a lot of information. We now have water to the house, only to the house, and to do my land, it is one bucket at a time because Dawn can't do 2 full buckets at a time, 1 bucket at a time to save what I can save in my graveyard garden. I'll catch you up on what's happening with that in another video, and my future plans on my garden. I don't know what that is yet. That's why I can't tell you. I don't know what I'm going to do about my garden. But anyway, answering a question is, if you don't know, somebody who's watched me grow, as in do the garden from nothing, for living off grid, all the things we've got over of our life here, living off grid and growing everything from scratch and so on and so forth. They came forward and we needed, it turned out not to be quite €7,000, but we needed, at the time we were told, the most it would be to fix our irrigation tank and our borehole pipes, and our borehole pump would be the maximum of €7,000. They stepped forward and said, you can't live without water, not even saving the garden. We just couldn't do anything. I couldn't top up the pool, so we couldn't clean the pool because you need the what's it called, the filters running and everything. It's the hottest time here now, so the pool was going down the level, so you couldn't run the pump. So I couldn't do my physio, couldn't water my garden, we couldn't clean ourselves, couldn't clean the house. We were buying drinking water. That was the only water we had. And they said, you can't live like that. So they gave us a loan. They haven't given us the money. Somebody thought I had the money now, so we're okay. But I'm so fearful of paying that back that as yet we haven't done the irrigation tank, hence why I'm still doing buckets of water. But we've got the borehole fixed, so we still have now, we have now the water back to the house. So we have that. And from that, I've said before, we fill up. Mike's got the pipe to a big water butt. He pumps up from the borehole, puts some in there. I dip waters in like a human well. I dip buckets in, pull them out, and then go down the garden. But as I say, it's a heat wave here. I can't do it all day, every day anymore. I just can't do it. So things are rapidly being lost. So I want to emphasize it was a loan. Oh, Blue's going to go crazy. Wait a minute. Wait. Where is it? There. Okay. I'm supposed to run things on the bottom. So Blue from Blue Self-Reliance has set up a GoFundMe site, which was so kind of her. I didn't ask her to do it. She did it. And I have a PayPal site that I've had since I've had YouTube. I think before, because people wanted to send me money. So I set up a PayPal. You can donate either way to help me pay back the loan. The reason I personally use PayPal is you get most of the money that's donated. But some people, Blue said, would prefer to do GoFundMe because they know how to do that. So you can do either. And yes, I want to emphasize it is a loan. I have to pay it back. We've already paid back everything that I've been donated on the PayPal so far. Blue is collecting the GoFundMe. She set it up in her name. So that's why we haven't done the irrigation tank yet, because I'm not even close to paying any of the loan back. We only took from the loan the amount it will cost us in total, because the reason we thought it might be 7,000 was the borehole pipes. We didn't know how many of the pipes needed replacing, so that would have been the 7,000. But obviously it would be nice, because we got the loan. Blues still put 7,000 euros total needed on the GoFundMe site, and it would be nice to give some interest back to the person who loaned us some money. So that's what that's going to be. So yeah, the question I got was, how are you intending on paying back the loan? And I am selling as much of my stuff as possible, anything that is not needed, but I'm having trouble selling. We don't have kind of ways you guys do it. I can't post things abroad. Well, I can, but then I wouldn't be getting the money. We don't really have places you can go and sell, like markets or anything like that. We have Bazaraki, which is where I've got most of my stuff for sale, which I think it's like a Craigslist, but it's only for Cyprus. Cyprus is such a small island, so I'm not doing very well selling at the moment, but I do have stuff to sell. I can't work, as you know, I've got to save what I've got here anyway. So yeah, the question was, how are you going to pay back the loan? And I don't know. This is why I might not seem stressed to you, but I can tell you it is mind-blowing. I did say before, when we were off the loan, I didn't want to take it. They were pretty insistent. It's like, you can die if you don't take the money. That's why, as I say, we haven't done the irrigation tank yet. We've just done what we need, because I can't use that money. I can't use all of it. How am I going? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I have no answer, which is why I didn't want to take it. I have no idea at all. I don't know. It's not often someone asks me a question and I don't have an answer. I don't know. I don't know. Anyone got an idea? Do share. I don't know. I think I put the comment something back like, we're doing everything I can, but at least we haven't got the speed. Well, I say we haven't got the speed of having to get the money quickly, because if we were going to do it ourselves, we would never have got to even doing the borehole. But to me, it's actually more important to get the money back quicker, because it's someone else's money. They're not rich. They don't have tons of money. It's their life savings. If something happens to them tomorrow, they're going to need it back. It's not, oh, here's money, I'm fine, just whenever. It's not that. We've already, as I say, we took every bit of money that came into PayPal straight away, and that has already gone back to the person who loaned us the money. So don't think we've got money. We have not. And as I say, Blue's holding on to the GoFundMe, because obviously that's hopefully going to get a little bigger. There's, I think, 30 euros. I think I looked the other day, there was 30 euros in there. But as I say, that's not what I get. I don't know what the percent is of that, but they take quite a lot of that. And that would be good to kind of keep whatever is in the GoFundMe, keep that separate and keep that for paying back the irrigation tank. So if my PayPal can try and get the money back for the borehole, and then Blue's money, the GoFundMe, we could say that was for the irrigation tank, to pay that back. So all I ask is people share. I can't give donations to people, and I do appreciate some of the people donated money. Can't afford it either, which breaks my heart, really. It really does. That the kindness there was just amazing. I can't give money to people. And so what I do is share. I try and build up people's channels. That's basically what I do. That's what I do. So yeah, share, share, share. Yeah, share. And I thank particularly Steve and Tina, who always heal my lives, because sometimes I'm so down before I start. And I think it was the last live, I really can't do this one today. Play it back at the beginning, see if you can tell. I'm pretty sure it was the last live. And I was just in a state before I started. So play it back, see if you can, now you know that, see if you can tell. But then by halfway through, Steve has a good laugh and makes me laugh in the comments, and it really does help. It really does help. I'm not saying, guys, you all have to be here on my live. I'm just saying just a comment under a video is really good, really helpful. Seem down now. Well, is when I think about how am I going to pay the money back. It's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. This is why I didn't want to accept it. I really can't see how it can be done. I really can't. And then I can't remember who it was. Somebody said, yes, but don't have confidence, have faith in it, in the community, because we see on the GoFundMe's particular, people say, oh, I want people to pay for, I want to go and learn drama, and can someone pay for my course? It's not like what I call life-saving, or I've always dreamed of going to Tahiti. I get all this money comes in. Oh dear. So I was told to have faith. You never know. You never know. You never know. Okay, let's move on. While we're talking about silly things on YouTube, which we were earlier, I'm sure in whatever country you're in, you've heard all this stuff about kids identifying as cats and things. And I was watching a video just sort of saying, well, okay, then you need to take them to a vet and you need to tell them that they have to use a cat flap and, you know, all the things. If you're a cat, you're going to be a cat and eat on the floor, and you're not having this food, you're having cat food, you know, all the things. If they really think they are a cat, then live like a cat. And then in the comments, I wrote it down because I thought this was really funny. Someone put in the comments under this, the comment said, my child identified as a tree. In fact, she actually identified specifically as a blossoming cherry tree. And then she writes, when she got sick, I called an arborist, which is a person who deals with trees. She felt really special, and she liked that they came and were doing a house call because she was a tree. When he turned up, he came with a chainsaw and a chipper. She suddenly decided she wasn't a tree anymore. Suddenly decided she wasn't a tree anymore. I think that's so funny. Yeah, did you like that one? I thought that was funny. Steve saying that's here in Canada. I've heard in Canada you can buy milk in bags. I've heard you can buy milk in bags. Crazy people. Crazy people. Oh dear. Yes, so Q&A. I'm going to be doing a video soon of, I've done them before, Q&As, answering questions from my channel followers, my community. And what I normally do on those specific ones is I'll read the question out and say which channel the question's from, so you get a nice little shout out, and then I've got burps now, and then I answer your question. So if anyone wants to send me questions, you can put it under any video or email or wherever you want to put it, but put for your Q&A, because if I just see a question in the comments, I just type the answer out. Not here, is in Tanzania. The milk in cartons. Not in cartons, in bags. Right. Tanzania. Cool. Yeah, so if any of you have got questions, you can ask me lots of questions. Don't just ask one question, and then I do shout outs within the video bags. Gotcha. Then I will I like doing those. I love doing Q&A ones, and they could be on anything. I'm not going to set a theme, so it could be anything about how I live or my past, or it can be funny. It can be a random question. You can just ask me something really random. Would you prefer this or this, and why? Just anything, any questions. And I will do that as soon as I get enough questions. I will do one. And I think the last one I did, I actually went for the last one and answered each question in a different part of my garden. So those just watching, you could see different areas of my garden. Maybe I should do this time different areas in my village. Yeah, shall I do that? Go to a different place in my village or something. I'm going to do something different this time. Maybe a different room in my house, because I haven't really done much in my house since, if you go quite near the beginning of my videos, maybe the first few videos, you see inside my house. So occasionally I'll do a video like now. Obviously I'm in a room in my house. I'm not a fake YouTuber that goes in a studio and it's set up like it's your house. There's a lot of kids channels like that now. You think it's kids in their bedrooms, but it's actually studios. You can normally tell those ones because it's very highly produced. Let's say the video, it's not like a kid's filmed it and it's got all things going on, and the rooms are too immaculate to be children's rooms, and they got product placements everywhere. Yeah, where else have I filmed? Oh, sometimes I sit in my winter lounge. If you see me talking on the blue sofa, that's normally in the winter lounge. The white background, when I do a serious talk, like maybe I did it for when I was saying about what's happened with the water and all that, I've got a white background. The reason I do serious videos with the white background is I'm talking to you and I don't want you distracted by my pretty curtains and things. It's not a background. I wonder if any of you can tell me where I am in my house with the white background. I'm not going to say anything else. Let's see if any of you can figure out where that white background is. It's so hard to film in my house with a clear background. I haven't really got any wall or cupboard or door that is just a plain background. I wonder if any of you can figure it out. Go back and look at, I don't know which videos, some of the first few videos where you see rooms in my house. A couple of them you do like semi-tours of my house, and see if you can tell me where that white background is. Yes, let's leave that for a little quiz, shall we? A little game. Talking of games, shall we do a quick game to finish today, to finish on a brighter mood? Let's do a little game to finish. Let's do this. Okay, randomly looking for a game. Oh, I've got a question for you, by the way. Why in Star Wars Did they beep out everything that R2D2 and C3PO said? Do you get it? Do you get it? Okay, let's do a question. What ruins a burger? So if there's something in your burger that you don't like, what ruins a good burger? Yes. What ruins your burger? Steve got it. Laugh out loud. Yeah, what ruins a burger? I take the gherkin out if you've got like a McDonald's burger. I don't dislike it, but I'd rather not. Same with tomatoes. I'll eat them in a burger if you've got one that's all melted cheese and that and it's sort of stuck in it. But I wouldn't order tomato. A fly, says Steve. Yeah, I would say a fly. I am going to say that's got to be our best answer of the day for sure. Not cooked all the way. Yeah, definitely not cooked all the way. A fly, no, I think a fly, definitely. I think we're going to finish on that because once we get a really super answer, we can only go downhill from there. Nothing will beat that for sure. And it's gone my hour, I've just noticed. I told you I wouldn't have time for anything else today. If there's any subjects you'd like me to talk about, then do let me know, because sometimes I think, oh, would you be interested in that? Would you be interested in that? So if you've got any particular topics or themes or anything you want, then that. And don't forget, drop me questions in the comments and put for your Q&A. That would be great. Steve saying, have a great day. You too. And I will see you all, what is it, Wednesday? No, thanks for being here, Steve. It's Wednesday today, so I'm making a special video tomorrow. You'll know what it is when it comes out. I'm making something very special tomorrow. Probably won't be posted yet because it's going to be a pig to edit. It's going to be an absolute piggy wiggy. But yeah, I have something coming up. So I will see you here Monday, or on my other channel, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty, on Friday. Thanks for being here. Meraki.